Traders, I look forward to sharing my top intraday and swing setups for the upcoming week, including some of my entry and exit targets. Now, last week I observed several failed breakouts and leading names giving way to their 10 and 20-day SMAs, along with several other leading names within leading sectors begin to really extend to the upside. So for the upcoming week, I'm definitely going to be a bit more, I would say, cautious, a little bit more conservative than usual when considering any new swing opportunities or any new swing positions until I see several names really begin to pull in, reset, along with and including the overall market as well. So there's also, with that being said, also been great capital flow, increase in speculation, and fantastic range and liquidity in small cap gappers last week. So that's going to continue to be a considerable focus of mine intraday as well for the upcoming week. All right, so first up is Circle, recent hot IPO. Obviously had incredible momentum on Thursday and Friday over the first 2 days of trading. And I would really say arguably the best opportunity in Circle came on Friday when we took out its day one high of around 104. We had a nice consolidation all morning, multiple tests of that area and fail until on a lower time frame, you can probably see it a bit better. We got a nice higher low above the volume weighted average price, only to get an increase in volume and push above that key level. So that was a fantastic opportunity. Textbook day two IPO breakout, one where I was long and remain that long overall in the stock. But I'm going to be looking where the opportunity comes for me for the upcoming week in Circle is looking to switch my bias soon to really stalking a potential short. Ideally, what I'm looking for is for the stock to gap up over 120 over the high, ultimately 123, and experience any failed follow through, any blowout, any exhaustion. So ultimately and ideally, what I'm looking for an A plus opportunity is looking for a day three blowout and exhaustion to the upside, along with clear momentum shift. So what does that mean? It involves for the stock to push, fail at, above, near, or much higher than Friday's high, have a push, blowout, exhaustion, and then looking for a significant fail thereafter and holding below the intraday VWAP on Monday. So for clear momentum intraday to the downside thereafter, what I would also need to see is then multi-day VWAP around the 108 area act as resistance, and then ultimately that all-important breakout area of around 104 would be the next key level to be keeping an eye on. So not there yet, but I'm hoping that day three in Circle can set up for a nice A plus reversion opportunity and looking for a nice momentum shift. For the next idea, looking at IBIT for that. Let's go back to a daily chart. Perfect. So a nice steady pullback we've had recently over the last couple of weeks in Bitcoin. Obviously, we had a recent failure below 5-day, 10, and 20-day moving average, so below those short-term moving averages. But for me, for a long to be considered here, I really need to see IBIT break and hold back above 60, which really coincides with converging 10, 20-day, short-term moving averages. So I'd need to see a convincing reclaim and hold above 60. And if that were the case, then I would consider potentially looking for a long in IBIT with a trail against the low of day or 10-day SMA, which would probably converge at that point if it were to set up. Next up on the list, we have Lightbridge, LTBR. Obviously, LTBR, as you know, is a part of a red hot theme right now, being the nuclear sector, nuclear power generation. And across the board, several names are really positioning for potential further upside. So OKLO, just for momentum, SMR, and then if we were to just go back to LTBR. But the only reason I won't be too aggressive on a swing in terms of really size and hold period in LTBR or any other names across the board is because we're significantly extended from mid to higher time frame moving averages like 200-day, 50, 100-day moving average across the board, very extended across all names. And so for me, it's more of a short-term trade, intraday momentum, potentially a 2-day hold. So instead, in LTBR, for example, what I'd be looking for here were to go long if we were to push out above 1650 and hold above 1650, significant supply and resistance in the short term. So were we able to push above 1650, hold convincingly, show a little bit of relative strength to its peers in its sector, I'd look to go long against the previous 5-minute higher low. All right, so being fairly short-term and aggressive in terms of momentum intraday with my stop. And then I'd be looking to really get some continuation intraday into 1770s, into the high 17s, a measured move as well with an ATR where I'd look to take off most of my position, given how extended we are already on the daily. And then I'd really trail the rest of the position with a small call remaining to see if we get follow through over another day or two. Some additional names on watch. First up, FTNT. Really nice technical bullish formation, hovering just above converging short to medium term moving averages. I like it's holding up firmly in a hot sector, in a leading sector, cybersecurity. So over 106, over resistance in the short term of 106, I would consider going long against low of day for a breakout. Next up, Sezzle. Sezzle's interesting. We had exceptional earnings and continuation following earnings. And now, we have an RSI obviously approaching 90 now. So for me, any failed continuation, any failed follow through on a gap or push higher intraday, or any relative weakness on a first red day setup to the overall market. And that's when I would be open to looking for a pullback short opportunity intraday, potentially over 2 days. But ideally, we get further extension in RSI and further extension in price, hopefully above or toward 140 first. So no rush there, just a name to be aware of and have some alerts set for. And then lastly, Rocket Lab. With Rocket Lab, nice strength, bit of a beneficiary of all of the drama we've seen the last 2 days unfold, politically and in the market. So for me, potentially eyeing some dips, some dip buys against the rising 10 5-day moving average. Any dip buys for a retest in the days or weeks to come, potentially, and the low 30s of the recent 52-week high. So coming into the week, that's really the main focus right now that I've prepped for the upcoming week, along with many other names that I have alerts set for. But these will be the main focuses coming into the week. Like I said, a lot of my attention will also flow to small caps, which experienced really great range, volume liquidity last week on pre-market gappers. And so, as always, please drop what your main watches are for the upcoming week, what your thoughts and plans are, and wishing you all good luck, and I'll see you all next week.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part, you don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.